We have some wonderful readings this morning at Mass. And today we'll focus just for a moment on the first from that letter of St. James. Blessed is he who perseveres in temptation, for when he has been proven, he will receive the crown of life that he promised to those who love him. Of course, there are times and moments daily even, when we confront temptations, when challenges in our lives appear, when our weaknesses or our insufficiency makes itself known. And we're reminded that as we persevere, not just by our own power or by our own will, but when we turn to and lean on and trust Jesus, not only do we overcome, but we're blessed, which is good news. It's extraordinary. St. James goes on to remind us that every good gift comes from God. And you see, the most important gift we receive, baptism, a new and eternal identity, a relationship with God that he knows and desires and chooses and loves you. That you are his beloved son or daughter. That you're not some stranger or some random person, but family. And it's in the context of that family of faith that we come to recognize that we're invited to view not just the world, but every part of our life, even ourselves, through a new lens, a new perspective, a new, to use a fancy word, hermeneutic of how we view things. That our identity calls us to view everything through the lens of faith. Now, of course, we know this, but so often in our world, and even in our church at times, we're tempted to view everything through a lens of fear. Fear at what's happening in the world, in our lives. Fear which leads us to give in to temptation. The kind of fear that says, well, what if Jesus is not sufficient? What if this time he's not faithful? What if he doesn't show up? What if I need more? What if? And fear leads us to turn away from him and to look to and lean on ourselves, who, as we know, are insufficient to the task. But Jesus, who is faithful, never, ever, ever abandons you or neglects you or forgets you, but is with you always. You know, it's through the lens of faith that we recognize that every challenge, every difficulty, every temptation, every suffering, even death, does not bring us fear. Because when we lean on, when we entrust ourselves to Jesus, we entrust ourselves to our Savior, the one who on the cross showed us that he is completely and utterly unafraid and unintimidated by us, by suffering, by sin, by death, as he conquers death and destroys sin. That we have nothing to fear, because his love casts all of that out. So as we hear this reading, we desire and we are blessed as we persevere in temptation, not on our own, but uniting ourselves to Jesus. That we are with him. We encounter him in the sacraments, at Mass, in the Eucharist, in confession, in baptism, in the sacrament of the sick. He makes himself in real and tangible and personal and intimate ways present to you, saying to you, you can trust me because I am faithful. So let us today and always trust him and turn to the only one who is with us always, Jesus.